5 days later, why do we not know more? That's on the minds of everyone, including the lead investigator, David Shepard, former FBI special agent, former executive director of security for the Venetian Resort Hotel and Casino, with me now. And, sir, it's great to get your expertise on our program today, and good morning to you.
Good morning to you. Glad to be here.
On the Wynn that's running security right now, you know a lot about this. What are they doing? Is it effective? Is it necessary? And ultimately, does it spread to other hotels in other parts of the country?
Well, currently right now the Wynn is winding people going in. They're confronting people as they walk into the property. They're sitting there trying to look at bags as well. And right now there's more than one property doing that, but it's not really done in the United States across the country yet.
Yeah. You've taught 300 classes on active shooters. What is the common thread that you try to convey to those in your class?
The common thread when you're in a situation like what happened is to run. Run away as wherever you can get away. You have to know the direction where the bullets are coming from. You have to know your ability to be able to get away. And if you can't get away, because 12.6% of the U.S. population is severely handicapped in some way, shape, or form, they're not able to run all the time. So then we have to hide, barricade yourself, conceal yourself, cover. Cover is ability to stop bullets. Concealment is only obstructing from the view. And the last course is to be able to fight under that situation. Most of the active shootings happen between 7 to 10 feet. This is over 400 yards.
Yeah.
So the opportunity, these people didn't have to fight.
I saw a quote
law
from you.
Law enforcement has to intervene and help stop the shooter now.
Yeah, and you can search and, you know, put security measures in place for the event itself. But technically, this killer wasn't even at the event, sir.
He was in a different property altogether, and that's the whole new changer. This doesn't have to be a hotel. It could be a condo. It could be a business building. It can be an insurance building. It can be a bank building. It overlooks an outdoor event. And every security director right now that has to do with an outdoor event has to be concerned about, what about an aerial assault now? They have a high altitude advantage over it. The last time we had this was 1966 in the Texas Tower. Charles Whitman killed 13 from an elevated position of 27 floors. Other than what happened in Dallas at Black Lives Matter when the gentleman was 5 stories up shooting down into the law enforcement and the people, we haven't really had one. These events now, we've had to worry about the cars and the trucks coming in. We have to put up barriers. Now we have to start considering about, what about elevated positions?
Wow. How have security officials treated that so far? Was that on their checklist, or is that just beginning now?
It's beginning back again now. It's been 51 years since we had this type attack program. And I look at this as domestic terrorism. I mean, even though it's not classified, this is the second worst event in the United States since 9/11. The number of people have been killed. We all have to look at what happens now going forward, because we do have copycats. We have to worry about any event we have that's out in the open now.
Now, I want to mention the name of Jesus Campos. He worked security inside the Mandalay Bay that night. He was walking between floors, and he is the one that approached the killer's room. 200 rounds fired through the door. He was shot in the leg, but that was the tip-off that police needed to find exactly where the shots were coming from. The sheriff talked about the importance of hotel security in the following way. Just have a listen on this one.
The Mandalay Bay did a great job of hiring police officers. They had sufficient staffing for the concert. And when this individual decided to fire upon the crowd, which was approximately 22,000 individuals, it's very difficult to manage that size crowd, and you have to ensure you have the proper staffing. And as described, our officers responded immediately in conjunction with the fire department as soon as the fire department arrived, but they were able to identify where the weapon was being discharged from. In a proximity, it's hard to tell what floor it is from the outside, but once they gained entry into the hotel in conjunction with security and through phone calls from patrons, they were able to call it down to a possible floor.
So for those of us on the outside looking in a security operation for an enormous hotel like the Mandalay Bay, what do we need to understand from a security standpoint that they're doing right?
They have to do a lot of things right under every condition. When we're protecting people on our properties, regardless if it's any particular property or a hotel. We have to look at what international guests coming in. We look under natural disasters, life safety issues, terrorism issues, public health issues, food defense type programs, 85 different areas of criminal activity on property. That's what we have to do 24 hours a day. And we have to do it throughout whatever the length of our property is, outside and in, the parking garages, the parking lots, and then if it's 10 million square feet of space, we have to do the entire property.
Yeah, wow. You wrote a book called Active Shooter, and I just want to use one of your quotes. We have to start thinking like the Secret Service. We have to start looking at tall buildings, as you have suggested in this interview here. And then you ask this question, how far do we have to take it? How far? Answer your own question.
You've answered that in relation to 3 different ways. If we look at a particular shooting that we had now, is this something that the government has to take and come in and demand that we take and change our security thing? No, not necessarily. Do we have to have it where the concern is the property owners themselves, whether it be hotels, casinos? Do we have to start doing ourselves to put in the new security measures to take and help our guests? Or is the last section, does the guests and the customers in the United States and internationally come in, what do they demand to us to do? A hotel is unique because you get to sleep under our security protection. Other than home, we protect you when you sleep at night. We protect you when you're not even paying attention. That's what our job is.
Wow. Sir,
and whatever the customer wants is what we try to do. I did one thing. I would take and ask the guest this one question. Did you feel safe when you stayed here? If you didn't feel safe, I would call them up and figure out why they didn't. If it's something I didn't do on my programs, we would take and change it. I took it one step further. I asked my own staff of almost 10,000 people, did you feel safe working here? If they don't feel safe, how are they going to make a guest feel safe?
That's a great point. Thank you, sir. David Shepard, appreciate your time today.